Hello there. Well, a trader who is accused of triggering a multi-billion-dollar stock market crash in the United States 5 years ago has been remanded into custody again after failing to raise the money needed for his bail. Navinder Singh Sarao from Hounslow is fighting extradition to the United States, where he faces 22 charges of fraud and market manipulation. But the 2010 flash crash, which wiped billions off the value of shares in America, has raised questions about how modern stock exchanges operate. And Valerie Bannert-Thurner is Global Head of Risk and Surveillance Solutions at one of those stock markets, the Nasdaq, one of the biggest in the US, and joins me this afternoon. A lot of people, Valerie, have said this about this case involving the 36-year-old Sarao. Look, if this one guy in his basement in Hounslow with some pretty basic computer software can do this kind of damage, if indeed it's true, that's pretty worrying for financial markets.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Caroline. Yes, indeed, of course it is very worrying, but obviously the flash crash was an accumulation of a number of different events. I think up until now it was very much assumed that the real trigger at this extraordinary time of uncertainty has been kind of a sale of $4.1 billion from an asset manager of E-mini futures. I think just over the last week or 2 weeks it has come to known that at the same time when this extraordinary downward pressure was on, also there was market manipulation at the same time, which further increased the pressure on the market and had the market drop. So it was certainly a number of different events. In the meantime, exchanges have evolved a lot, technology has evolved a lot, and so this couldn't necessarily happen that way again at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, because the tactics that he used, supposedly layering, spoofing, all sorts of tricks really to put orders through the system, to sort of fool the system, as it were. Do you think that exchanges like yours, the Nasdaq, where people place their hard-earned money to make a good return, do you think that you are able now to cope or to deal with these?
Yeah, very much so. In fact, I'm in charge of a business for risk and surveillance solution called Smarts, and that's exactly what we do. We help over 40 marketplaces globally, as well as 12 regulators and over 100 broker-dealers globally to identify market manipulation, any kind of market abuse. So the tools and technologies are very much out there to identify this quickly and to raise this to regulators.
Regulation, you mentioned it there, that's key, isn't it? A lot of stock markets and those in the US are largely self-regulating. Do you think that the regulation is in place to help people benefit from the stock markets? We saw obviously the trouble that can be caused when financial companies aren't regulated properly, the 2008 crisis, for example.
Yeah, I mean, you notice from all the headlines, regulation has obviously increased tremendously over the last couple of years with MiFID II, Dodd-Frank, and the Market Abuse Directive. You see that really the obligation lies across the entire capital markets chain nowadays to look for, abusive behavior and market manipulation. So I would say it's very much up to scratch. It's in fact increasing significantly the remit of where you have to look for market manipulation. It is covering the OTC markets. It's covering markets like fixed income derivatives, OTC instruments in the FX space, energy instruments. So regulation has gone very wide and very deep, and the technologies are becoming increasingly complex to investigate those types of behaviors.
Just one last question, Valerie. How closely does the Nasdaq liaise with UK regulators here?
Generally, across the world, regulators are working extremely closely together. They work together with the exchanges and the SROs, the self-regulatory authorities. So you see cooperation across the world, especially in this area, and the regulation is very well aligned.
Valerie Bannert-Thurner, thank you so much for joining us, visiting the UK from the Nasdaq in New York, talking to us about regulation and all of the issues covering US markets. That's all the business news, though, for now. Back to you.